Bukchon is a place that embraces the 600-year history of Seoul, the capital of South Korea, a modern yet cosmopolitan city. Bukchon is also called a street museum in the city because it has many historic sites, cultural assets, and folklore materials. Also, all locations in Bukchon are loved as filming locations for K-dramas and K-movies. In the future, I will introduce you to the Bukchon trip with guide Nuri into courses. Both courses will tell you the best places to see the beauty of Bukchon within 1 to 2 hours. If you have enough time, it would be nice to travel all the places the 2 courses visit. Recommended courses can be found in the description section below the video. This time, we will take a tour of Bukchon's recommended course 1 with guide Nuri. Depart from exit 3 of Ornuk Station on subway line 3. Subway Ornuk Station is always crowded with many companies and tourist attractions nearby. This is a popular onion cafe these days. Onion Cafe is a nice cafe made by renovating a 100-year-old hanok. It is a more wonderful place because you can feel the traces of the years. And because the bread is so delicious, it is also called Bukchon Bakery. Because of the time the bread is made, it is often sold out several times a day. An old hanok with fragrant coffee, delicious bread, and a spacious courtyard. Drinking coffee in a modernly renovated hanok will give you a comfortable and enjoyable experience in Korea. I recommend this place to tourists who want to start their trip after a coffee break.
그냥 하는 거야. 재료 없이. 돈 내고 와서 하는 건 기분이 들더라고요.
촬영하러 가는 느낌이네? 미쳤다.
This is a modern hanok in Gaidong, Seoul. built in 1921, and is registered cultural property number 229. Opened in 2002, the Bukchon Traditional Culture Center spreads the history and values of Bukchon and our traditional culture, and conveys the meaning of Bukchon and Korea's traditional housing culture. It also serves as a communication space for residents, and a visitor information center. Seoul Public Hanok is a hanok open to residents, and domestic, and foreign visitors, and you can freely view and take a break during operating hours. Here, maps of Bukchon and Insadong, which contain useful information for travel, are provided free of charge in Korean, English, and Chinese. You can also check the schedule for traditional culture classes, hanok and local culture education, and experiences here. This exhibition hall exhibits materials that tell us about the history and value of Bukchon. This place has lecture rooms, and a space for residents to relax. This place is originally a resting place for residents, but it is also a place where exhibitions are held from time to time.
왜냐면 나도 오수원 사이에 그 내일이 나는 좀 부담스러워. 나도 그게 좀 부담스러워서.
We will tour the Gaidong-gil in the front, on the Bukchon recommended course 2.
지형 자체가 그냥 나는
The first view is a striking panoramic view of Cheongdeokgun Palace, beyond the gracefully patterned stone wall. It seems that you can go to the past Joseon Kingdom over that stone wall while walking down the hill.
내가 여기서 넣어주고 내가 코로 받고 이걸 이제 하는 거야.
Specific numbered parking areas on the road are residents' priority parking spaces that winning applicants use for a fee. If you just park it, it will be towed and you will be charged a tow fee and storage fee.
난 와이프죠.
First of all, the garden with bamboo is pretty, and makes me feel at ease. This is where Korea's first Western-style painter Go Huadong, 1886 to 1965, who returned from studying in Japan, designed a hanok in 1918, and lived there for 41 years. It is the cradle of Korean modern art, where Go Huadong taught Western painting to students, and actively interacted with cultural artists of the time, and is a cultural heritage that shows the architectural style of modern improved hanok. You can get to know the painter Go Huadong, and it will be fun to see the inside of a medium-sized, modernly renovated hanok.
그 당시에는 조선 서양화를 이해하는 사람은 없었고
The second view is the Wonsadong Arts and Crafts alleyway. Walking along the stone wall road of Cheongdeokdong Palace leads to a dead-end alley, where the legacy of the artisans and craftsmen who served the Joseon Kingdom royal family continues to this day. Traditional skill holders and artists are active, and recently, new workspaces for architects and artists have been opened. It is one of the oldest laundry areas, along with Cheonggyechon laundry area. This is where the local people used to wash their clothes with water from the royal palace. Now only some space remains, and the rest has disappeared under the road. For adults in the old days, it was a place of communication to share small news about the village. Danchong paints patterns in various colors on traditional Korean wooden buildings to decorate them beautifully and solemnly, and also to protect wood. Based on the theory of the 5 elements, patterns are drawn according to certain rules in the 5 colors of red, blue, yellow, white, and black. It is used only for the construction of palaces and temples where public and authority must be maintained. Bukchon Danchong Workshop is a professional educational workshop where you can learn Buddhist art and cultural heritage, repair, techniques, and functions. In addition, Korean traditional culture experience programs are provided for a fee so that visitors can easily understand Danchong. This alley is also one of the places loved for filming.
약한 사람만 들어.
여기 숙고 안 해?
Established in 1908, this is a private boys' high school with 117 years of history and tradition. Due to its beautiful buildings, it is famous as a filming location for numerous movies and dramas, including Guardian, The Lonely, and Great God, and Autumn in My Heart, and True Beauty. Visitors are not allowed to enter on weekdays. The third view is Bukchon Road 12 Gil area. The third view is the area around Bukchon Road 12 Gil. In some Hanok residences open their doors to visitors to reveal their interiors. And in some places, experiential programs of traditional Korean culture are offered. Bukchon Hanok Hall is a public Hanok open to residents, and domestic, and international visitors. You can use it freely during operating hours. This place is a good place to take a break during your trip to Bukchon. This is also my favorite of the Bukchon public Hanoks. On one side, artworks are exhibited. The view of the roof of the Hanok outside the window is wonderful. The view over the stone wall is also very nice. Among the Bukchon public Hanoks, the Bukchon Traditional Culture Center, and this place, are recommended as a must-visit course. The Bukchon Traditional Craft Experience Center is a public hanok open to residents, and domestic, and foreign visitors. You can use it freely during operating hours. It is a space that provides experience programs to inform domestic and foreign visitors of the beauty of traditional crafts. Visitors can experience making traditional crafts for a fee. This cathedral was built in 1795 in the place where the first Mass was celebrated in the land of the Joseon Kingdom, by Father Jumun No, the first missionary in Korea. Gazho-dong Catholic Church is a building in which Hanok and Western-style houses are beautifully harmonized, and a solemn atmosphere prevails. And it became more famous after singer Rain and actress Kim Tae-hee got married here. First, we'll go to the Baekinji's house, and then go to see the Bukchon's fourth view.
だから3番で一本できるからオレンジ3番
지도를 봐야 될 것 같아.
Baek In-ji's house is an upper-class modern hanok, built by Han Sang-ryong in 1913 using expensive black pine from the Yalu River. Baek In-ji, the founder of Peak Hospital, owned it from 1944, and owned it for the next 60 years. Currently, it is operated as a public history museum, after restoring its original form. The large gate in front consists of the Heng-mangche where servants lived, on both sides of the gate, and a tall gate in the center. The tall gate was made high to show authority, by making it easy for nobles riding, sedan, chair, to enter and exit. It would be fun to look around Baek In-ji's house, a modern upper-class hanok, and find out how it differs from the traditional upper-class hanok. Sarangjungman used red bricks that cannot be seen in traditional hanok. Bricks have the advantage of being effective in preventing fires in hanoks built with wood, which is vulnerable to fire. Traditionally, the sarangche was a living space for men, but the sarangche of Baek In-ji's house is a space for entertaining guests. The floor of the sarangche is a jangmaru made of long wooden boards. It is easy to lay the floor, and it is flat, so it is comfortable to walk on, but when deformation occurs, it is inconvenient to have to lay the entire floor. The use of Japanese-style corridors, and tatami, rooms, and the extensive use of Western red, bricks, and glass windows reflect the background of the times at the time of construction. Unlike other traditional hanoks that separate the sarangche and the enchai into separate buildings, the two spaces are connected by a corridor, and are one building, so it was easy to move inside. Baek In-ji's house has a large garden, unlike the traditional hanok sarangche. The reason is that the first owner made it for the purpose of holding many banquets. This place is famous for shooting the reborn rich, and in assassination. These scenes were filmed in sarangche. This is also a popular location for many movies and dramas. In addition, part of the sarangche was built as a two-story building, which is unique to Baek In-ji's house, which is unparalleled in traditional hanoks of the Joseon dynasty. The peculiarity is that the Enchai and the Saranche are connected by a corridor, but a Western-style door is installed to separate the two spaces, and secure an independent space. And like a traditional Hanok, the gates to the Enchai and the Saranche are made separately. This is a reflection of a modern lifestyle in a traditional Hanok lifestyle. The Enchai is a space for the life of the hostess and her family, and unlike the Saranche, it has many traditional Hanok features. The Taebuk pattern on the right is impressive. The floor of the Enchai is a Korean traditional checkered floor, Wunmo Maro, made by laying several short wooden boards. It is easy to repair because you need to replace only that wooden board when shrinkage or deformation occurs. Behind the Western-style door on the right, there are stairs going up to the second floor in front, and there is a connecting corridor to the Saranche on the right. It is a space that you can see only if you apply for a guided tour. It's nice to be able to see undisclosed spaces when applying for a guided tour. These scenes in the K-drama Reborn Rich and the K-movie Assassination were filmed in the Enchai. An air raid shelter was built underground in preparation for US bombing. It was used not only as a shelter but also as storage for wine and spirits. Jangbokdae is a place to store sauces such as soy sauce, soybean paste, and red pepper paste, and food that can be stored. The Bloodongchan was used as a private resting place for the male owner. Bloodongchan was located at the highest point in Bukchon at the time of construction, so it boasts an outstanding view overlooking Bukchon. At a glance, ondol, which is spread under the floor of the entire room, is a heating technique unique to Korea that has been passed down since ancient times. The wood fire was made in the furnace to warm the entire floor of the room. The trail leading from the Bilaldangche to the Saranche is very lovely. Beek in Jay's house maintains the beauty of a traditional Hanak while embracing modern changes, and is a representative building of Bukchon in terms of architectural scale and historical value, and is a folk cultural property of Seoul. The fourth view is Bukchon Row 11 Gil on the hill. Many traditional Korean tiled roofs in the Bukchon 11 Gil area can be captured in one view frame.
그게 그냥 와 있어가지고 요번에 올 때 와가지고 우리 예전에 왔을 때 그때는 다른 거 와가지고 그거 매입을 시켜놨는데 이번에도 그걸 매입을 시켜야 된다고 해가지고 그래가지고 거기서 나오라고 했어요.
The fifth view is the Gatho Dong Alley downhill. The most authentic cluster of hanok can be found here. Most of these traditional houses are in excellent shape, thanks to the city government's renovation incentives. Every hanok you see in front of you makes you feel like you are inside the Joseon Kingdom. The sixth view is the Gatho Dong Alley uphill. The view of downtown Seoul revealed above the elegant hanok roof lines is regarded as the high point of a walk through Bukchon village. The heterogeneous feeling of the coexistence of the past and the present is attractive.
아, 그래. 내가 먹거든. 아주 이야기 되지.
부잣집이나 이런 데는 있는 거지. 대형 쌀이나
The seventh view is Bukchon Row 11 Gil area. This is an unpretentious, serene and infectiously peaceful alleyway. Catching a glimpse of the residents' day-to-day life is also an interesting experience. This place has historical significance as it is the site of the home of Gobel Mueng Sasong, a great scholar and filial son, during the reign of King Sejong, of the Joseon dynasty. Located at the highest point in Bukchon Hanok village, it is a famous attraction with an observatory that offers a panoramic view of Seoul's Naesasan Mountain, Seoul City Wall, and Gyeongbokgung Palace. For an admission fee of 6,000 won, museum visitors are provided with a view of museum exhibitions, a visit to the observatory, and a cup of tea. Some menu items incur additional charges.
찍을 거야. 내가 맞아. This back. This quick. So good, this back. So good.
The eighth view is a Samcheongdong stone stair, the unsophisticated but romantic stone stairway linking Bukchon Road 5 Nagil and Samcheong Road, is carved out of a huge rock bed. In Samcheong Road, there are old hanoks, various modern galleries, restaurants famous for their taste, unique cafes, boutiques, and art shops.
어디 가야 돼? 연예인 같아.
The mural We Are the Young painted by artist SIS makes people smile. This road, called Gambut Angil, is a beautiful and easy to walk path that calms the mind. This cozy street is full of pretty cafes and galleries, occasionally holding a craft market and plenty to see. And this road is famous as a filming location for numerous movies and dramas, including the K-drama Guardian, The Lonely, and Great God, and Our Beloved Summer. These pretty stone walls that were often seen in K-drama can no longer be seen. Covered by a pretty stone wall over 4 meters high, and neglected for over 20 years, it returned to public land as a public Songhyeon Green Park from 2022, after more than 100 years. The site of Songhyeon-don, where the royal family lived during the Joseon dynasty, has changed owners several times since 1910, and has a turbulent history. Currently, various events are being held, and the museum is scheduled to open in 2025.
Masyado mahal yun sa kanya. Masyado mahal.
Things to keep in mind when traveling to Bukchon. Bukchon is not a tourist area, but a living space where local residents actually live. Residents are complaining about the damage caused by overtourism with banners on the walls. Tourists' voices and footsteps are heard as loud noise by residents in narrow alleys. Visitors need mature consideration. Please become a beautiful traveler who keeps the 9 promises to keep in Bukchon. So far, this has been a recommended course 1 tour of Bukchon with guide Nuri. See you again soon at Bukchon recommended course to tour. To get easy and useful information about South Korea, Hip Korea. Please subscribe, press like and alarm, and leave comments.